Pay attention to Cassie's lip and forehead. Now, I'll tell you what Cassie testified this time in the Diddy trial, and you'll see later why I showed you this photo. Cassie actually admitted to hitting Diddy today, but more on that in a minute. By the way, the full surveillance video from the hotel has now been released. Cassie then got into an Uber and went home. She was completely out of her mind and texted him, "Stay away from me." And what does he do? He spams her with messages like, "Oh, yo, please call me. I have 6 kids. I'm surrounded. Help my children." The prosecutors asked her if they believed he was really surrounded. Cassie replied, "Nope." She texted him, "I got a premiere of the biggest project of my life and a fat lip and a black eye because of you. You're sick, especially because you think what you did was okay." By premiere, she means the movie The Perfect Match, in which she starred. She then took one selfie showing her injuries. And now we come back to this photo because on that day, Cassie is also said to have worn sunglasses. This photo she really posted, and I thought that was after the hotel, but this was 2014, and the one in the hotel was 2016. She said it was an accident in Dubai, but can we still believe that now after everything came out with Diddy? Or did she just use that as an excuse back then? Her friend Carrie was waiting for her at home tomorrow when she saw the injuries and immediately called the police. But Cassie doesn't tell the police that it was Diddy. She says she wasn't ready and didn't want to hurt Diddy. Diddy didn't hurt her. Then Diddy shows up at her house, kicking the door and screaming. Cassie says in court that this was normal behavior with him, and she flees to one of Diddy's bodyguards, D-Rock, and stays with him and his wife. A few days later, she goes to the premiere anyway, with makeup over the bruises. In some pictures, you can even see wounds on her arms. Diddy once called Cassie a slut because Cassie talked to a producer about her music. She then hit him for the first time, and he then completely lost it and went off on her. Let's get back to the freak-offs. Cassie once hooked up with another guy and Diddy threatened to release her freak-off tapes, quoting Diddy, "You'll have to explain this to your mother." Apparently, Cassie's mom knew nothing about it. She knew Cassie was with Diddy, but had no idea they were doing things like this. The prosecutors asked her how she coped after the freak-offs, and she said she took opium to numb herself. Diddy also had this post-freak-off routine: massage, IV drip, food from his private chef. Cassie said she got such bad infections at one point that antibiotics stopped working. She had wounds on her tongue from UV light, and even on her birthday she wasn't spared. Diddy sent his security to drag Cassie away from her own party for a freak-off. She said she didn't want to at all, but eventually gave in. Once she texted him, "Please delete the videos from your phone. Too many people have access to it." His response, "No iCloud, all good," which made it seem like he was brushing it off. In August 2013, Cassie was at Drake's OVO Festival in Canada with friends when Diddy suddenly showed up. She freaked out, he threw her to the ground, and Cassie hit her head on a bed frame, cutting her eyebrow. Instead of taking her to the hospital, Diddy brought her to a Beverly Hills cosmetic doctor. Afterward, she sent him a photo with the caption, "For the record." His reply, "You don't know when to stop. You took it too far." Later, Diddy and Cassie went to the Hamptons, where he tried to force another freak off. She took substances and was knocked out. When she woke up, she was completely under the shower. Instead of helping her, Diddy just stood there freaking out. Afterwards, he forced her into a freak off. Later, they flew back together and she refused to sit next to him, even switching seats. But he switched too, suddenly sitting next to her and playing freak-off recordings on his phone. Cassie thought he had deleted them, but once again he threatened her, "I'll release these." Cassie said she felt trapped and humiliated, but she kept going because she was afraid of Diddy. Back in 2009, when they were in Cannes, Diddy accused Cassie of stealing his drugs and threw her off his yacht. Still, she went to a premiere afterward, and despite everything, Cassie texted Diddy on Father's Day, "You're the most extraordinary man. I can't wait until we have a baby together." The prosecutor asked, "Why?" And she replied, because I loved him, because it was Father's Day, and because I did what I had to do to survive. Friends, that's it for now, but if anything else interesting comes up, I'll keep you posted.